All right, let's go to our next topic, which is the team that we have the biggest concern for. Kurt, I'll start with you here.
There's a few of them, but I'm gonna start with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I know Jay was going to talk about them too. I don't trust teams that are up and down like that during the season that look like against good teams, they would flip the switch. You would see these moments of like, hey, that's the team that made the Western Conference Finals. That's the team that looks like they can put it together, but they don't do it consistently. And really concerning, they've been good in transition this year on offense, but their half-court offense has been pedestrian. It has just been fine. It's okay. And that's a weird thing to say for a team with Anthony Edwards on it, but their defense hasn't been as great, and they're going to go in and try to be physical, and I don't see it for them, and that sends them into an offseason with a lot of questions in a West where Oklahoma City isn't going anywhere, San Antonio is only getting better, the Lakers will probably retool and be better. Like, where is Minnesota?
My biggest thing with Minnesota, too, is that for as much as they've struggled without Ant after the All-Star break and this last stretch, is that with Anthony Edwards on the floor, they have a +4.5 net rating on the season. Like, that's just not good enough if you want to actually make the finals. And with your best player on the floor, you're a +4.5 type of team, whereas, the OKC are a +16 with Shea on the floor. The Spurs are similar with Wemby. The Nuggets are +11 with Jokic, and Minnesota haven't really gotten to that level or close to it. And also, Julius Randle is shooting like 44% since the All-Star break and under 30% from three, which I think is another problem too. Chris, who's your concern team?
I got to go with the Knicks because they've been so uneven for most of this year, and they're entering these playoffs with the highest of expectations. As Kurt said, it is championship or bust in the eyes of Knicks owner James Dolan, and I don't know how you can look at the season the Knicks have had and say that they're ready to win a championship. I was at the Knicks-Celtics game a few days ago, and that was a game the Knicks probably should have rolled in. There was pressure on them to win, to keep pace, to get that number 2 overall seed, or at least keep them in contention for it. No Jaylen Brown in that game. It seemed like the Celtics were experimenting. We got a heavy dose of Nikola Vucevic in that game, and the Knicks barely squeezed that one out. They had 2 Josh Hart 3-pointers in the final minute to win that game. How often is that going to happen again? I just think there's just a lot of questions about this team. Like, can Karl Anthony Towns dial it up in the way we saw him dial it up in the playoffs last year, particularly the conference finals? What's Mikal Bridges going to look like in the postseason? How many quality minutes are they going to get out of Mitchell Robinson? Jalen Brunson, is his health going to hold up over, some long postseason series? It's just, and look, on top of that, Mike Brown, the shadow of Tom Thibodeau is long. It gets casting wide over Mike Brown right now. Tom Thibodeau had this team 2 wins away from advancing to the NBA Finals. Mike Brown at least has to get this team back into that position, or else there's going to be a lot of questions about his future in New York as well. I think it all adds up for just a potentially challenging postseason for the Knicks, who will have to probably go into that series against Boston with Jason Tatum having revenge on his mind, looking to, chase the ghosts of the Knicks, chase the ghosts of Madison Square Garden away in that potential series. I just have a lot of questions about where the Knicks stand. Like, the Knicks, just to add one final thing, like when I talk to people there, like, they're of the belief that their guys will just level up. That just like last year when they got the break speed off them in a couple of games against Boston in the regular season, didn't happen in the playoffs because their guys leveled up. And you can kind of buy that because Brunson's a great player. OG's a great player. Bridges has been a great player. Towns, for as much as flaw, is still an all-NBA big man. They believe they're going to level up. That's a lot of belief in, like, the abstract, the unknown, and not, kind of actual momentum you're building going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the existential question with the Knicks is always just how good can your defense be in the playoffs when your 2 best players are Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, and having those 2 guys to put in pick and rolls.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.